Hey everyone, it is your best friendly DM, Zektown here. Before this episode really kicks off, let me be the first to apologize for a long break between episodes. I feel like this needs to be addressed, and as you will listen on into the episode to discover, we had kind of a major data loss. We recorded this episode in hopes that we can be forgiven, as you, the listener, have lost most definitely some awesome moments with us. I apologize. Part of the reason this episode took so long to begin with was because I tried splicing a bunch of other episode audio into this. We've trying to weave it in and out and kind of make it something that would have been epic in proportion. It just did not seem to pan out, and every way I tried to slice it, it didn't live up to what I wanted for everybody. So I ultimately scrapped that idea and went with what we had as a group, because at the end of the day, that is what we are. This is our concerted group effort episode to put together a few months worth of laughs and hope you can all enjoy it with us, and with some of the jokes we had along the way, catching everyone up to speed. As always, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and iTunes, Spotify as well, and most other major podcast sources and apps. Remember to like, follow, and tell a friend about the show as we ramp up this catch-up episode and join the adventurers as they dive into Season 2 in 2 weeks. Thanks. He's going to carry him up the
I go limp. I make it as difficult as possible to carry me. Like, just straight dead weight.
Of course you can, if that's what you want to do.
And as we do, I want to slip into Hugh Buck just before it closes.
As you grab the shield, you feel a warmth.
Oh boy. A warmth?
It feels familiar. It feels like you and this shield should be in contact with each other.
Okay.
We all hop in a wagon and go down the steps in the wagon.
I am so down with that. Let's fucking do it.
God. I don't.
I grab Aang on either side of his ears and I just give him a big fat kiss on the lips. That's not playing.
You're telling me, guy. It's almost as bad as deleting 3 months of audio.
To be fair,
I don't know about that.
To be fair,
I don't know about that.
I didn't know how. I thought uploading it onto Google Docs means it's uploaded, it's public, it's in the cloud. I thought the whole point of the cloud is you can't easily take it down. What's going on?
Jerry doesn't know how a cloud works.
The water cycle, man. The water cycle. Clouds form.
All I gotta say is you are the hardest working method actor I've ever met. And that's how we're gonna open up this episode of The Natural Ones. Everyone, we are sorry to disappoint, but it appears as we've had a little bit of a
They don't know.
faux pas.
They don't know. It could be all sunshine and rainbows as far as they care.
Coming across the wire today, Jerry sucks ass. Back to you, Brian.
And I'm Brian with the weather. The weatherman always announces that he does the weather. Like, we know you're standing in front of a giant fucking green screen. Like, come on.
It's like fucking it's like Pert Hapley here.
Oh my gosh.
I'm about to do a segment, and that segment is the weather.
But yeah, so it's partially my fault. I didn't download things fast enough, I guess. So
Yeah, I like that take. That's a good take.
that's the good take.
Doesn't mean you're off the hook, man. Can't you save it on your own computer?
Jerry, I told the guys already, but I'm gonna send you like a 64 gig flash drive. It's not even like an external. You can buy more. You can buy like terabyte flash drives now.
The last time I bought memory was at Best Buy, and it was like $60 for a 2 gigabyte stick of memory.
I mean, everybody knows.
What
It was
that,
also
10 years ago?
$19.99.
But then you can back up all of your audio for the rest of your life on 64 gigs.
That's true. So unfortunately, we lost our last 3 episodes.
Well, 3 of the last 4.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a.
But we're gonna do a speed recap
Yeah.
tonight, right?
Yeah, and I was
Let's do
actually I wanted each person to kind of like dictate a little bit of what was happening. I didn't want to just do like exposition for an hour. So I kind of wanted to hear what you guys remember and everything else. So listeners, we are sorry you are missing the initial glimmer and laughter that these jokes probably have brought us, but we're going to try our best to make sure you did not miss anything in our wonderful campaign.
The most important thing is that I got 10 flashbangs.
Yes.
That's the most important
That was
thing.
pretty
happened in these 3
awesome.
episodes.
But first, how did you guys get there? I mean, the last episode that we have out, you guys had just exited through the trapdoor in the museum, shield in hand, swords in toga, and decided to venture further down the additional new passageways that had been carved out, probably by the slavers. I think it's safe to say that now since you encountered them. And you guys chose to make a left and move the party through that area. And then do you guys remember what happened once you arrived?
I remember going to the right.
Nope,
the left.
that's the one.
Yeah,
We went left.
He just
and
said it.
I remember the wrong. Immediately, the first thing I remember is wrong. I remember going to the left, and we came out in the city. And
No, we came out into a wine cellar.
Wine cellar, yes.
Where there used to be giant like wooden kegs, but there were only cages.
That's correct.
And there was a lot of very heated debate about what we were in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, listeners, you don't get to hear the 10-minute squabble that we had about whether or not we were in a wine cellar.
I'm still almost positive it was a phone booth.
Yeah, I think each
So
of you made separate checks to like figure out what this room was, and I think each one of you like rolled sub 5 or something ridiculous. So you guys just knew that there were. It
But-
definitely was a room.
It ended up being the building that Aang had tracked the slavers to, correct? Or had tracked like that tip to, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, and then
exactly.
we were in the basement of that building.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were very sneaky,
Yeah, you guys
extremely sneaky.
were very sneaky. Even with disadvantage, I think, Hugh, you were able to keep your shit together, I guess, for lack of a better phrase.
There's a first time for
I
everything.
found a 5-pound bag of rice. I remember.
It was the only thing. Because it was like,
Only thing in the room was a 5-pound bag of white rice, which I kept.
Was that in the wine cellar, or was that like up on
it was
the
all
main
on the
floor?
main floor because it's really like a safe house.
Yeah.
It's not, a living
Yeah.
space. But so, yeah, it was a very sparsely decorated place. I think you also took some snow globes from there as
That's
well.
later on. I took the snow globes from the castle when we get
Oh,
there later.
right. So we'll get there next. We'll get there soon. So you guys snuck successfully through the city.
Snook. We snook.
Snooky?
Snooked.
Snooky,
Snook.
you
Oh,
snood your way through the city, and eventually everything opened up, and you were back in your old haunts of Maritz's magical menagerie. You woke her up. She was very bewildered in her nightgown at the front door. And once you guys got in there and showed her what happened, told her what happened, I think...
she wasn't happy.
No, she was not happy because you guys
No.
were supposed to check in that night and break in with Tim. And they thought you had skipped town or something like that. So they had actually called ahead to Shalou, and I think she was like going to be on her way. You were informed. But then you guys, what did you guys ask her anything about? Anything? I can't remember what exactly I told you.
I feel like we had talked about. Well, she knew the city guards were out looking for us now, and they knew that there was a short man named Hugh who had left behind some rather
Few bucks.
incriminating evidence.
I don't think Maritza knew this yet. Cause
No,
you guys
Maritza didn't know this.
Oh no.
No, she didn't.
Because you guys kind of like
Oh, maybe she.
interrupted her and Tim.
We haggled because we did all the work, and I had the sword she wanted, so we haggled. And I believe she gave me some like potions or gold or something in return for the swords.
Yeah, I believe we all ended up with a couple potions and a bag of holding.
Oh
Oh yeah, that's
You
what it
each,
was.
the two of you that did not have bags of holding received bags of holding.
Yes. Correct. I already.
Yeah,
had
you already had one, so you also got your additional flashbangs. And
Yes.
that's where you got those from. And
Oh, yeah.
she also paid you guys pretty handsomely.
Yeah,
for-
yeah, we split that up too. I believe.
How much?
Yeah,
how
I believe
much was it total?
I think it was like 4,000.
No,
4,000 each. I
No.
mean,
I think so. Something
no,
like
no,
that,
no.
yeah.
It
That
was
was
like
that was 2,000 each.
I thought it ended up being like. Hold on. Let me check my monies.
wait.
yeah, I'm
It
pretty
was
sure because
4,000, right? Yeah.
I'm like just on.
Yeah, like 12,000 total.
Yeah, it
something
was
like
12,000 gold
Yeah.
for those two swords.
that? Yeah,
That's,
yeah,
that's a pretty-
we each got
4,000
$4,000.
4,000 each.
Yeah, it was a pretty. Oh, yeah, you're right. I thought I had originally given you like 20,000, but no, I think
Oh, we'll do
No,
that. We can,
no,
we can
well,
retcon
Yeah,
that.
we can shift around
It was
some funds, man.
it was actually
This technically never
it was
happened.
20,000 before the pretty steep black market tax.
you're right. What was I thinking?
They take out the finder's fee even though that they didn't actually find it.
Yeah. But then while you guys were discussing some things, did you ask her about the shield at all?
Crud. I think she just said it was important. I feel like I don't know.
I don't think she had much information to share.
Yeah, I don't even think we showed her the shield. Wasn't it in the bag of holding?
Yeah,
the
I
whole
think
time?
no. Yeah, because it's your bag of holding, right? So you already had put it in there.
Yes. Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah. So I don't think we talked about that shield. I think we might have talked about it when we got to the next part.
Yeah, we definitely like showed it to Shalou.
Yes. Yeah, and that's actually where where we kind of ended the first one, where you guys talked to Shalou about the shield, and I remember something about her saying that she didn't feel anything like you had felt, because I think you told her that you like felt some weird sensation.
Yeah, I felt like some weird pull to it, some warmth.
Yes.
It was like
you were the only one that felt that.
it was like a toilet seat that someone had just vacated and that you sat upon.
Yeah.
oh,
it
I
was-
hate
it was
that
a fin-
feeling.
I love that feeling.
It was a.
Really?
yeah, I want to like high five the
Oh.
person who walks out of the stall when I'm walking in and be like, "Thank you."
Can we like take a second to address that? Because I think that's
Yeah, I
like
think that's
kind of
kinda weird.
Yeah.
What, you want to sit in a cold toilet seat?
I'm on the fence.
Honestly, I would rather sit on a cold toilet seat than a seat that I know
I
that
would like
somebody's
I
ass
like a
was just
warm
on.
toilet seat as much as the next
Yeah,
person.
I feel like if you like a cold toilet seat, you're basically like a serial killer.
but I don't.
That's a little nuts.
But I don't want like a
We're
pre-warmed.
not we're not talking about
I don't want a
putting milk in the bowl
pre-warmed seat.
before
Like I would like
cereal.
a heated seat. Like that would be a nice fancy.
Yeah.
what's the difference?
Yeah, if it
between-
was meant
why does it
to
matter
be
the
warm,
heating method?
that's one
Why does the
thing.
heating method matter?
Because one heating method is another person's ass.
It's not even really your ass. It's more like your legs, right? Like your back of your thighs, your hammies.
There's definitely at least like 75% cheek that touches the
There's
toilet seat.
definitely still some ass on there, and I'm not
listen,
about it.
All I'm saying is like if I have the preference, if I have the choice between a warm seat and a cold seat, I'm picking warm seat. That's just for comfort, man.
I mean, to each their own, but
Yeah.
just like
Hugh.
what if you're
Hugh prefers a warm seat if that makes you feel better, Pat.
Yeah.
Hugh would prefer that. So, right side of history, right, buddy?
Sure, yeah.
Does Gris prefer a warm toilet seat too?
I think Gris prefers squatting in a field.
Wow.
That's
like a
rustic.
new level
I mean,
of
he's a
squatty
tea-
potty.
He's a tiefling. He's a demon. He actually probably prefers upper decking people's toilets, but no, that'd be a Hugh move.
That's totally a
That
human.
is definitely a Hugh move.
You know, now that you've given me the idea,
Well, there's no tank. There's no tanks in this timeline, Jerry. We're using like latrines, you know. But
It's-
you if there was a tank for toilets, you would definitely be doing upper deckers. You would do an upper decker in your own house. That's the kind of person you are.
oh man.
Just to fuck with guests.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, oh my god, why does your bathroom stink so bad? Oh, it's
Then I come in. Then I come in.
Take
and
shits in the tank.
I just burst it on them. I'm like, how could you do this to me?
Yeah, like he's the one
I
that
feel
does
like
it,
Hugh-
and then he goes into the room full of people like, who did this? Who's shooting the coats?
Hugh's the one who like sits backwards on the toilet and like uses the top of the porcelain for like a reading table or something.
Guys, this is how
There was a South Park episode about that.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah. But Butters is like the first one to start it, and like the ghost of whoever like created the modern toilet comes back to haunt people and like, see, that's how you're supposed to use it, and it's a whole thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But anyways, now that we've addressed toilet seat preferences thoroughly,
Only the most important things.
yeah, I know, totally.
We're hard hitters here, man. We're hard
course.
hitters.
Shalou said that she was going to see what she could find out. She actually, I think, I think you gave it to her at that point, right? You didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, get rid of it. I don't want it.
Get rid of what?
Right.
What are we talking about?
The shield.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but she didn't want to take it.
Yeah.
She insisted that I keep it. Grizz doesn't want anything to do with any of this. The greater like arc of what's going on. He just wants to like do the job and get paid and like do the good deed and be done with it. He doesn't want to deal with any of the.
Grizz wants no strings attached.
Yeah, exactly. Like when the red woman appeared,
Oh,
woman
yeah.
appears, like, nope, I'm done. See you guys.
Come here.
Bye.
Nope.
I'm out of here.
You can't
Nope,
talk
nope.
to me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no. Grizz doesn't want like. I feel like in his past he's had. We didn't really talk about this, but we can expose this since we're making up for a couple lost episodes, Jerry. Grizz in his past has had issues with attachment to things, attachment to people. So he tries to avoid that now, and I think he's very reluctant being a part of this band of. I don't really want to call them heroes. They're more like anti-hero. I mean, like
They're
I
dudes
feel like Aang
getting
is a
paid
hero,
to do dude stuff, or like they're or
like
things.
Aang's a hero, right? Aang would do this even if he wasn't getting paid.
Probably.
Hugh is an anti-hero, and I feel like Grizz is very much in the middle.
I would do it without getting paid, but for completely different reasons than the two of you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're an anti-hero, right? Like, yeah, like you would do it just for the chance to ride a wagon down a stairwell in a museum, right?
Hugh
That's what
Hugh actually
that's what
has
gets you
cancer,
going.
and he's trying to raise money for his unborn child 1,000 years ago. wait, no, it's Breaking Bad. Never wait.
I've been rewatching Breaking Bad, and my God, is that a good show? Oh, it's so good. Anyway,
We are not sponsored by Breaking Bad or FX.
We are not.
Network,
We are
unfortunately.
not.
But if FX, if you're looking for a D&D inspired, thing,
yeah, show definitely
hit us-
turn a Critical Role.
yeah,
definitely.
that wasn't it either.
Wow, way to plug a completely different show. Great, man.
I'm
Very
partial to
successful
Forbidden
show.
Forest.
Very successful show.
All right, so we ended up having a bolt from Ritz's, right?
Yeah, so Shalou ended up opening a portal, and you guys
Yeah,
were...
she just like fucking appeared in the middle of the room.
Yeah, that's kind of her thing. She was able to open up a portal for you guys, and then as you guys had been discussing and getting your final gifts from Maritza, and saying goodbye to Tim and thanking him for all of the magazines he lent you, Hugh, Shalou opened up another portal after the first one had vanished, and you guys left the city. I think you had mentioned to her very briefly that you may or may not be in some trouble for stealing some things.
What?
You didn't, I think, but she just thought it was just the shield.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, she didn't
Just
know
the
about
shield.
anything else.
I totally didn't take a Monet painting with me.
Definitely did not. But then you guys ended up in the castle, and it was same time,
Well, we forgot
instantaneous. What?
the portal opened up and we got those communicator things.
Yes, you also were given
Oh, yeah.
stones of sending.
Oh right,
And-
the walkie-talkie, the magic walkie-talkie.
And I used our
Yes.
one charge per day to make a prank phone call. And I asked Shalou if her refrigerator was running.
I can neither confirm nor deny if that
No,
happened.
that actually happened.
Oh, perfect. I'll buy it. I like it.
Granted, the world will never know for sure.
It's true. But I think you guys were just really tired and wanted to go to bed, so she took you to some private quarters that were for diplomats. And I think you took the fanciest room, Hugh.
I did. There were multiple paintings and knickknacks around the room.
Yeah, and you stole all of the snow globes. There were 3 of them, I believe.
I did, and I also stole all the paintings.
And I think a pillow or 2.
Oh yeah, you definitely took a pillow.
I used the pillow as like a sack to carry my my illicit goods.
Even though you have a bag of holding.
Yeah, well, I put it. I organized it. I put the paintings in the sack, and then put the sack in the bag of holding. It's boxes and boxes, man.
And then, Aang, you actually got a really big room because you waited the longest to get one. And Patrick, you took the middle room, which was like a regular normal room. It's all you needed.
Yeah. I ended up taking a late night constitutional, I believe, too.
Yeah, you took a stroll, and you were actually able to look in from the main walls of the Ram's Mount, and you got to really see the capital for the first time. You had never, you're not from this continent or country or anything like that, so there haven't been too many places you've been to this side of the sea. And you remember Shalou mentioning that you guys had been transported into the Ram's Mount, which was the capital's keep. So it's the original keep for Treespire, which was built upon after the Great War had ended, and people just naturally wanted to be moving closer to the safety of a capital city where the king was living. It was built by King Ram after the war, and she also mentions that she wanted to take you guys to the study, her private study, but since you guys wanted to get some rest first, that was totally fine. So you pondered these things as you were roaming around the halls that night, and I believe you saw a few guards, and I think you skirted away from them as to not draw attention to yourself. And you kind of took in a lot of these large wall hangings that looked like maybe a couple 100 years old, if not older, for some of them. Some of them were pretty threadbare from just existing for that long, and nothing too crazy. But you were able to see through one of the windows. I'm finally getting back to that. The actual rose tree that is like been magically
huge, right?
Yeah, it's huge. It's probably a couple 100 feet tall. It makes the one in Brinst look like a regular bush in comparison, and that one was like a 2 or 3 story building, right? A lot of care has been taken to maintain this tree throughout the past millennia, really. And you noticed, and you just were able to take in the beauty of all of the roses kind of giving a red sparkle underneath the moonlight and everything like that. And then you eventually made your way back and saw that somebody, I'm not going to say who, unless they want to out themselves, left a large bucket of urine, as well as iguana urine, I think, in a bucket.
I don't know how that could have happened.
It's a mystery to me.
It was probably Scarl. Scarl does get up to some tricks at night.
So yeah, then the next day happened, and you guys had, I think, some nice breakfast with Shalou, and then she took you to the study. And what went on then?
We talked about... we met the queen, right? Didn't the queen come in?
No, before I gifted Shalou the Monet painting, though.
Yes.
She thought I painted it, but I told her to go get it framed for me. And this is the next morning also when she learned some things.
She told us about the other rose items and where 2 of them might possibly be. They were a shield, which we found already, a sword, gauntlets, boots, a silk flag, and possibly a helmet.
Oh yeah, all the stuff, right? Yeah, I wrote that down. Boots, helm, sword, shield, gauntlets, silver silk flag. Yeah. We have the shield, FYI. I checked that off the list.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
There were
and she
also
was-
a couple items.
Oh, she was also mad. She was mad with us. Right? She was mad. Oh no. Yeah, she wasn't she real mad about the stealing?
not
The
Not-
stealing.
not initially because you didn't mention it. But she did mention that there were more items on the list, but there's a lot of black mold on the paper, and some of the painting and the list were partially destroyed at the bottom.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. That shit's dangerous.
Yeah.
Probably the most dangerous thing in this campaign so far. Black mold. It's no joke.
Yeah, just wait, man. I am trained in like OSHA safety, specifically like construction and environmental. I know a lot of ways to kill
I
you.
actually have to sign up for my OSHA 10 tonight. I gotta do that after this episode. So.
Oh man, you just have to do the 10.
yeah.
The 40
for now.
40 is where it's at, but you'll get there. Maybe
One day when I'm a big boy.
one day. What else did you guys have written down for that?
I didn't have a ton written down for that part. I just remember she was. Hold on. Let's see. Ram's Keep and Tree Spire, Large Tree, the Matron Rose. Then we learned about places we could go. There was Earthune, which was a snowy mountain temple. Gallus, which was the ruins of an old city. And the Underwoods, which had abyssal disturbances.
Right.
And then Gordana was the name of the red-robed woman.
Yes.
Jerry the Smithy. We got to talk to him.
Did you ask?
That was later on though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you ask her Shalou about Gordana at all?
They
feel
used
like we did.
There
Wasn't there some?
There's a
some
relationship
history?
between them.
Well, no, wasn't it? Wasn't that between her and Maritza?
No.
No.
Wasn't it Gordana and Maritza?
No,
Or
it was Shalou and Gordana. Didn't they used to be a thing? Am I thinking?
Yeah, they used to be a thing.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
misremembering that.
And she kind of just said that, she gave you an answer. I think you guys did like perception checks on it too to see if she was like giving you like blowing smoke or not. And
Oh yeah.
I don't think you guys rolled really well as per usual. And she kind of just, flippantly said that the distance was not easy. She was, stationed at the capital. Gordana was stationed in Greenfoam, of all places. And the distance really tore them apart. And you don't really necessarily buy it on face value, but you can't really tell if she's being honest or not.
Yeah.
We got to, and then after that, we got to visit Jerry.
Yeah.
That's when we visited Jerry, right?
Yeah.
The Smithy.
Shortly after that, but then that's kind of where we ended that second episode, right as the Rose Monarch herself burst through the door.
Thanks for listening to the Natural Ones podcast. You can find us on Twitter at the Nat Ones Cast or on Facebook, facebook.com/the Nat Ones Cast. You can email us, thenatonescast@gmail.com, or find us individually. You can find Aiden at Alakaya A58. You can find Zeki at Zektown, Jerry at JMEE3RD, or myself at Pat Uglo. Thanks for listening, and is that another natural one?
Right as the Rose Monarch herself burst through the door.
Oh, that's what it was. The Queen.
Yes.
What's her name? I don't think I got her name. All right, so Shalou had a thing with Gordana.
Yeah.
And the Queen, I don't think I wrote down her name, though.
Queen Nefersari Tearsilver.
That's why I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
Nefersari?
Yeah.
Nefersari. I'm just going to...
Yeah. That's all good.
Yeah, Nefersari what?
Tearsilver. Tyrsilver.
Okay.
Which you guys would know. Tyr is a god in this world, specifically in the pantheon of the Roselands, and there is also a city of Tyr. And I don't know how much you guys would know about the Queen, like, because you're mostly the only person who might know some stuff would be Aang.
Yeah, and
How do you get to where is it? Tyr what?
Tyr Silver?
The city of Tyr?
Yeah, there's a city of Tyr.
Do you take do you take a trail to it?
You guys, I think, can take a road to Tyr. Tyr's a pretty major city.
Oh.
No, she's actually from a small village, like, outside of the city of Tyr. There's, like, an elven conclave that she originates from.
Ah. Okay.
Because she is an elf, which we...
And then she was mad at us, right? She got pissed.
Oh, she was very
real
pissed
mad.
with you guys.
Yeah, we were bad boys. We were bad boys.
yeah, we were not making a good name for the Rose Guard.
Yeah, we were bad boys.
Yeah, and there was actually something in her hand that she gave to Shalou first. Do you guys remember what that was?
Oh no, I don't.
I don't remember.
It was a wanted poster with a giant Hugh-buck on it.
That's right. That's what it was. Yeah, because Hugh left behind a Hugh-buck in the case for the sword.
Was it Hugh or was it you, Pat? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
Pat
it was
asked to
you.
borrow a Hugh-buck, and I said, sure, I would happy to be handing out
No,
my
at some
self-made
point,
currency.
Pat bought the Hugh-bucks
No.
off of you or something. It was really weird.
Hugh gave me the Hugh-bucks in some kind of trade. He thought he was grifting me a little bit, and I kept the I believe it was 9 Hugh-bucks, and I have placed one. I placed one as we were closing the sword case.
Yep. So there's a wanted poster for Hugh, the cat burglar, as well as 2 associates that were seen with him, which is you two.
Allegedly.
Oh, is that who that
Thank
was?
you.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
Along with the
Small
shield
world.
that is missing, there were also 2 swords and a painting cut straight from the very frame it was hanging in.
What kind of monster would cut a painting out of a frame?
That's how
Nerve.
professionals steal things.
They actually didn't get caught for a very long time. the couple that did do that, actually, and I think some of the paintings are still missing.
The
But-
Isabel Stewart Gardner theft.
I think we're thinking about the same thing.
Yep.
But
Anyways.
yeah, Queen Tyr Silver was not very happy with you 3. She says that she will confiscate the painting and return it for the reward money and put that towards restoring the old Roseguard Keep. You guys were very apprehensive to this.
I mean, I wasn't it just Hugh that was apprehensive about it, since he was the one that stole it?
No, very apprehensive about, like, being told that there's a keep being readied for you, and if you wanted to give any additional money to speed up that process, you could.
Oh, right. Yeah, and I don't think we did we?
No, you guys didn't give her any money. You said you were fine with it taking a while.
Right. Yeah, because we're going off on our adventures.
Yes. What do you remember about what the Queen told you about the Underwoods? And if anybody else wants to chime in for
The
stuff.
Underwoods had some abyssal disturbances. That's all I really remember. The Underwoods had abyssal disturbances.
It's the woods, like, around the city, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
sounded
I
like a
believe
great place
so.
to go, is all I'm saying.
Oh, there was. I know when we went. Well, I guess the episode we went there we have recorded, so we don't have to talk about that. But
You guys didn't go there.
No.
no, that's no. Oh no, we went to Gallus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are traveling to Gallus,
Sorry.
the sunken city.
Oh, the Underwoods. It wasn't like that was not as much of a pressing issue, I believe.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
she
we
had
some
already
time.
sent a platoon of soldiers to go see to the problem, and there were reports of abyssal entities, like, terrorizing the forests and attacking some of the fields outside of the city. And she sent some people on it, but she might need you guys to check it out, what's going on, once she hears back.
Right.
Right, that's what it was. She would send a small, not a battalion, but like a garrison there to do some recon, and we would get noticed. So that was like on Earthune and Gallus were the ones that were more pressing issues.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then we ended up going to Gallus.
Yes, and the far south rather than the far north
Correct.
Yes.
to Earthune.
Yeah. So Gallus is a city in the far south. I think it was told to you guys.
The deep south.
Yeah. Well, to be seen. And I think in talking about Gallus, you found out that there is a lot of an entire like sunken city that like about 500 to 600 years ago, someone was messing around with some magic, and the main export of the town, salt, had been transformed into water, and so all of the salt mines under the weight of cities and the water and everything changing so rapidly like that, the entire city sunk several stories, really. And now it's a sleepy, quiet town where adventurers will pass through to go see what kind of treasures they can dig out of the mines. But that's really all the traffic that gets going through that city at that town at this point. And you guys chose to go there instead of instead of Earthune, which is a wintry fortress-like city of mainly dwarves. It's an old city that the dwarves originally inhabited on this continent, and outside there is an abandoned temple that there's been some rumors that things have been happening, and it might be worth checking out as well. But that's really what you guys were told. That's what Shalou had for you after doing a little bit of research into the original rose petal myth. That's what she had done after you guys left Greenfoam, and she went back to the capital. She started doing research, and that drawing and map was what she had kind of come up with. So to kind of lead you in some directions and maybe have some items to be looking for. That's kind of what was happening. If I remember correctly, since the queen left a little bit in a huff, she was mad at you guys, but very, I think, upfront about how much good you're going to be doing for the kingdom, and that's between you guys and her. I don't know what you guys might want to add to that, whether you're concerned about things or whatever.
She told me I couldn't do any more stealing and stuff, and I didn't take too kindly to that.
Yeah, she did say that. I think she had mentioned something about the fact that you guys were official Rose Guard members now.
Yeah, she like gave us like patches or something, or, like armbands.
You have like armbands with Rose Guard insignia.
Yeah, I didn't put that on.
You definitely did.
No, I never put on an armband. No way.
No way.
No way.
Grizz wouldn't put on an armband.
You wouldn't even be the cool like Keanu Reeves type character that just like decides to put it on his like right above his knee on his thigh to be cool.
I'll wear it like a garter underneath my pant leg.
Underneath your pant leg?
Sure.
Fair enough.
Way up in my thigh.
Jerry, I am scared to ask where you put yours.
Well, it was a little too small, but I know.
The band or
the band?
Oh. Sorry, it was there. I had to grab it.
Hey, easy guy.
I'm currently wearing it like the Borat bathing suit
It's
over
nice.
my clothes.
My wife.
My wife.
So you're wearing it kind of like a belt that's holding together your.
I think he means the Borat swimsuit.
Yeah, the Borat swimsuit, kind of like a slingshot around my body.
So you have like an Andre the
Yeah,
Giant.
no, I
going
gotcha.
right now.
Yeah,
Oh, that is.
and mine's
So-
actually on my arm.
I like it.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that was good.
And then we got to see Jerry the Smithy.
Yeah,
right?
then you met Jerry. What do you guys remember about Jerry?
All right, he was a hippopotamus person. He had a Australian accent,
Just like Grizz's mama.
Grizz is all about this, and I'm pretty sure there was a your mom joke in there.
There was definitely.
Yeah, he was hilarious, And he gave me a black cloak of protection, which gave me +1 to AC. I was very excited about that. Bumped up my AC again, so
Yeah.
that was cool.
And I think Hugh, didn't you benefit possibly the best with this,
Yes, I took the
or at least in your eyes,
I took the
benefited
snow
most.
globes. Yeah, the snow globes that I had stolen from my bedroom, and a fire potion, and I had him convert a trident I had found and just been keeping in my backpack for the last 10 episodes or so. Trident, tipped it with snow globes full of napalm that I'm going to use with my my new blunderbust.
There you go. And you guys kind of did montages, right? Like,
Yeah, and I was also
yeah.
given the boots of speed
yes, you were.
that doubles my walking speed, and they lose an opportunity to attack, and is disadvantaged.
Yes. How successful were you guys in your training? Because we kind of used this quote-unquote downtime to train a little bit with Jerry, since you guys were getting new items and stuff, and you wanted to get acclimated to those types of things. And we kind of we glossed over the fact that you guys had opportunities to go to the shops and buy things, but we weren't really, like, if you guys needed any additional like mundane items that you could get from a shop, it was you guys have more than enough funds at this point to pick pretty much whatever you would want. Jerry, you picked up a lot of extra ammo
Yes.
and some components for ammo too, so you're set on that kind of stuff. Through this training that you guys had, you also picked up some feats.
Mm-hmm.
So Aang, which feat did you get?
I picked up the Mage Slayer feat, which I don't remember the exact thing for it, but it's basically I have advantage against anybody casting a spell whenever I'm like within 5 feet of them.
I think you also, when you do damage to a creature that's concentrating on a spell, that creature has disadvantage on the saving throw it makes to maintain its concentration.
Yes.
And you have advantage also on saving throws whenever a spell's cast on you.
Yes. Well said.
Yes, so, that's a rough estimation of, I think, what you have to do there. Gris, which one did you pick up through your training?
Oh God, I've been trying to find it and I can't remember what it is.
Oh, no.
Must have been a great one.
Oh, the defensive duelist.
Yes, that's exactly it.
That's what it was. When you are wielding a finesse weapon with which you are proficient, and another creature hits you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to add your proficiency bonus to your AC for that attack, potentially causing the attack to miss you. So basically, if I'm carrying my finesse weapon, which right now is my rapier, and a creature tries to hit me with a melee attack, I can use my reaction to add my proficiency bonus, which is +4 to my AC, which is 15, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's up to 15
Yeah.
at this point, which is
So,
actually
yeah,
really good. You can add.
Yeah,
That's really awesome.
but that's when it's melee. That means like even with a weapon, right?
Yeah.
Or does that just mean like a punch?
No, it would be with any kind of martial weapon, any kind of improvised, like any kind of physical attack. Someone is swinging something at you.
I can use my reaction to add +4 to my AC.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if you end up finding yourself in a situation again where there may or may not be a large ogre swinging a large club in your general direction, you have the opportunity as a reaction to add 4 to the AC save, and then you'll be able to dodge out of it,
Hell yeah.
which would be pretty awesome for a
Yeah.
rogue.
19 is a good number at this level.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
And then Hugh, do you remember what you were given?
I believe it was for my blunderbuss, wasn't it?
Yes, you were given the firearm specialist, which is kind of homebrewy ish. I think it actually might be in the core rules, but it's like a very optional type thing because not everybody uses weapons, guns, and stuff like that in theirs. But I think we've, as like general meta knowledge, we've agreed that like, you know, like siege weapons exist in this world. I think you even saw some at the museum. You saw some small catapults and stuff like that, and you know that gunpowder does exist. But this was like one of the first, like you've never really seen a firearm before. You've seen like large siege weapons with explosives, but you've never really seen like a firearm, and they aren't really a thing. So you were actually given like a prototype blunderbuss. Like it's like really, you know, a rare item. So you were able to train for a few days and kind of get the mechanics of reloading and making shots. You were getting that all down, and I think like over the 3 days there were progressively more targets, and I think you rolled well enough that you were able to like get pretty good at shooting multiple targets that were like moving around with some of his assistants underneath of him. And you didn't kill anybody, which is a plus.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what happened, you know, with your time with Jerry. He was a happy GIF artificer. He was wearing like a large leather apron with several silvery pockets, which I think you guys figured out were like mini bags of holding, just so he could like pull things out. And with his Australian accent, he was able.
He was delightful.
Yeah, he was.
really was.
He's a nice guy.
He was my favorite character that we've met so far.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
You should rehash his voice for the listeners.
Oh my gosh, not today. Not today.
It was pretty
if
good.
I
though.
was going to? I don't think that wasn't. That was way Cockney. That wasn't.
No, that was
that wasn't quite it.
Oh, I remember his voice now.
Yeah.
It was Australian, mate.
Yeah.
Right?
My name's.
He kind of sounded like.
My name's Jerry.
Yeah.
Welcome to my workshop where I have many items for you to try out today.
Yeah, that was pretty close.
I got inspiration from Meek from the Thor movie.
That's we talked about
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
so-
it sounded just like him. But it was perfect though. It was perfect for
But
the
yeah,
character.
my name's Jerry, and here I am. I'm trying to help you guys out. I got some secret items for you, and we'll do some training, and hopefully I don't beat you up too much. Yeah, he was generally just like a very happy person.
He was. It was awesome.
Yeah. So after that, you guys meet back up with Shalou in the portal room, and I'm pretty sure that's where the next episode is going to start. Which is awesome.
So that was actually not a bad recap. We got it done in under 50 minutes.
Yeah. That was actually really good.
Do you want us to stop this recording and save it, and then we can start a new one for tonight?
Yeah, we can
Would
do
that
that.
be
Was there
easiest?
anything else that you guys wanted to like discuss, like with the story so far, or anything? Well, we have like the opportunity or whatever.
Oh,
You know, like-
not really. I like where the story's going right now. I like that we have an option. It was like a choose your own adventure style thing. So we know that we're going to Gallus right now. And we got to, well, obviously the next episode will tell us what happens when we get to Gallus. But yeah, I feel like Grizz is maybe a little apprehensive about how big this is getting. Like what started off as like clearing out a cave for some extra coin, for some extra drinking money in Green Foam, has turned into something much larger, and it's snowballed very quickly. And I don't know how comfortable he is with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, for a bunch of characters who are all pretty much chaotic good, some leaning more towards good, some leaning more towards chaotic, some just somewhere right in the middle there. Being thrown into chaos with what's happening around you has been interesting for me to see with you guys, because I was curious how chaotic characters would react to chaos being shoved upon them. and it's been fun for me to see you guys go through everything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're finally at a point where things are kind of kicking off, and you guys have like really started to push and feel on the boundaries of what your characters are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you guys are just like kind of finally getting into the groove of, oh, these are the things I can do now. This is really cool. So I don't know, Hugh or Jerry, anything?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah. Method actor is hard at work, I see.
It's true.
And Aang, what about you?
I'm excited to see where this all goes. I think Aang is really just kind of like along for the ride at this point. He doesn't really like have a stake. I feel like he has too much of a stake in it either way. He's just kind of like, I don't know. He's kind of happy to continue traveling around and kind of just do his thing. He's, he doesn't really have a preference to seek out a ton of gold or anything like that, or like for the glory of it. He's just kind of in it for the adventure of it, and I think it's shaping up to be a pretty good adventure.
For Hugh, every day above ground's a good one.
I like that, and I like that is honestly part of Hugh's mantra. And with that, everyone, we will see you again in about 2 weeks, I'd guess. And we'll see you next time.
Yay.
Pew, 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 pew.
Wow.
All right, now should we stop it?
Yeah.